Hey guys, I'm sharing this video today because I want to share my story of how I built a multi-million-dollar company by 28, and definitely was not easy, but I want to share with you guys where I started off, how I got started into the industry, what skills I had to learn, and really just give you a background of who I am and what I've built in the last 9 years and where I'm at today. And that is a multi-million-dollar mortgage company it is the fastest growing mortgage company in the United States right now. We're headquartered here in Las Vegas. We have a pretty big group of young guys and girls here that are looking to excel in a career that will pay them more than most companies will pay. And that's just the surface level of it, but to give you some more background, I was actually born in Argentina. I moved out here when I was about 5 years old with my twin brother, and we moved over here to Las Vegas with me and my brother and my mom. That's a really important part for me because that's where I came from. Is not the richest country in the world, right? It was really more of a poverty. My mom's single mom with twins, and luckily I had my brother to always help out with everything. All my life, I definitely wanted to be successful. I feel like I've always wanted things around me that were more than the average person, and I always was willing to work to be able to get to that. It wasn't always like that. When I was 18 years old, when I went to college because I didn't know what to do, I decided to just go to find more opportunity and see if this is gonna be something that will hopefully bring success into my life and change the course of my family. So really that didn't happen. I was just partying the first 2 years from 18 to 20 years old, and it wasn't a great influence around me, but what did help me, and I think a lot of people get out of it, is connecting and networking with other individuals. And at that time, I met some great people that were in other fields that are already working and making money. They were not in college to make money. They were there just for the same reason I was, just because we didn't know what to do. And luckily, they found a vehicle that was working for them to find success and make some money. But I wasn't the first one to actually come up with this great idea of going into mortgages and getting into sales. I was just a young kid that was broke, that was living at the parents' house that most kids are, and I wanted to find success. My brother actually decided to drop out before I did and get into real estate. So he was a real estate agent and working for one of my fraternity brothers at the time that he also dropped out and was starting to flip houses. My brother worked for him, and I saw him within 6 months really change the direction of his life. He was making quite a bit of money, bought a new car, and was just seeing success. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm still living at my mom's house. I still have college tuition to pay for, and I had no money. I had a credit card that I would just pay for my lunch, which was Jimmy John's pretty much every single day. And that was the scope of it. I was a lifeguard at the time, just making money during the summer, and that was it. So he found that success in that field, in that industry. And, obviously, as a twin brother, we were just always talking, figuring out what we could do. And he's like, dude, get into this industry, but get your mortgage license. We could work together as a real estate agent. I could get you some deals, refer it over to you, and we could work together and start making some money. So that's what I decided to do, because I had another friend in our fraternity that was on the other side of that and working in mortgages already for almost a year and a half, and he was signed to find success. And it was similar to like the Wolf of Wall Street, like, hey, show me your checks, show me your bank account. Like, I need to see proof that you're making money. He showed me his bank account, he showed me his pay stubs, and he was making over $25,000 a month at just 20 years old. And I was like, that was enough proof for me to just burn the ships and go into mortgages. And no matter what, I was like, I'm gonna get to that point. I don't care how long it takes, I wanna get to this point. Because I didn't have a direction where I wanted to go to. But at the time, luckily, I picked up some books from friends, and one of those books was the 10X rule, which really still to this day I read once a year, and that really changed my mindset on how to actually find success. And the biggest thing that I got out of it was get into sales. It wasn't just mortgages, it wasn't real estate, it was like just get into a sales position where you're working for yourself and be able to really take control of your income. And that was a scary thing. At the end of the day, like, I was honestly an introvert. Like, I didn't know how to talk, to communicate or sell someone on anything. I had no clue. I was a blank slate. I just jumped into it, not knowing what to expect. But sometimes you got to do that to know what you're really made out of, right? Do you actually want this? Do you actually want to work for it? I'll get more details into that too, because when I dropped out past my mortgage test, I passed it on the second time, and then I decided to drop out. Start working for my friend, which all we were doing at the time was really just calling leads that we would purchase online and call these clients that were looking to either get qualified or purchase a home, possibly refinance. And we were just calling, our goal was to call 100 people a day, so we would really, there was no systems in place. We just printed out these spreadsheets on a piece of paper with first name, last name, address, and phone number. And all we did is go one by one, make those phone calls, and just write down notes with a pencil or a pen and say, okay, this guy just voicemail, this guy said fuck off, this guy said I'm interested, this guy said call me back. And then, ever so often you'll get that one guy that's like, yeah, I'm interested. I was so hyped, right? Like I got an application, I went through the whole process. I didn't even know what to ask for in the beginning. So like as a mortgage, just because they have a mortgage license doesn't mean you know how to do mortgages. Yeah, that's just a test that you pass for, right? And when I got my first application, I remember because I didn't know what to do. So I just pulled up a basic mortgage application online and just asked every single question. It was like a 45-minute call because I was so novice to this whole process. And I got the application. That was my first application that I got that I didn't close actually, but it was enough for me that this process works. Like this system works. I could get someone on the phone, I could get them interested, and I could get their application to hopefully get them qualified and go shopping for a house. About 4 months in is when I actually got my first contract with a client here locally that still to this day uses me. I've probably done 6 loans with him at this point, and that was my first client I've ever had. That's when I knew, okay, I'm 100% going full force into this. Like I see some money coming in. Now it's time to just get more in the pipeline, build a better sales skill for myself to get this whole process in one-stop show, right? Like I decided to do that, and then the ball started rolling. I got more deals in the pipeline. I started closing loans, but it wasn't pretty still to that day. Like it was 2 years of like relentless work where I was waking up at 5 in the morning because we were making sales calls over in Florida. We're in Vegas, so 3-hour difference. So in order to contact some of these people, we had to start early. So it was 5 in the morning, we would do sales meetings and practice role playing, and then have a quick meeting to then get on the phones. Like we need to make 100 calls, right? So we do that all day until we get enough applicants, and some days you get 0, some days you get 3, some days we got 10, and that was really the first 2 years. And parts and bits of that was also building a sales team that we were just hiring other young, hungry kids that were looking to find success as well. After 2 years is really when it clicked for me. I don't think that takes that long for most people now, especially that's like why one of the reasons I'm doing this is like a shortcut, all of these things, for you guys to not struggle as long as I had to, right? Me doing this 9 years and now finding success in doing so, it doesn't have to take that long for you. But after 2 years, it all clicked. And then that's really when I started to see some serious money in my pockets where I was like, okay, like I'm changing my direction of my life here. I started making $10,000 a month. Then I made $20,000 a month. Then I went up doing $35,000 all the way to over $100,000 in 1 month. And that's more because I built a sales team around myself that I was teaching other people to do the same thing, running a call center, direct consumer sales operation. And again, I didn't know how to do this. I didn't go to college to learn how to do mortgages or run a sales team or manage a team, do payroll, do all these things that I just, through brute force and moving forward and seeing success, I decided that I'm going to just take ownership and responsibility of figuring this out all along the way. And that's when I really started seeing success on the sales team. And we were working for a company that was my buddies, the same guy I worked for in the beginning. That's when I started, like I said, I bought a new car, I was taking trips, and it was all cool and fun, in my early 20s to be able to make that much money. It all really went to a big halt during COVID, a little bit before that, but COVID really put a stop on everything. It made me really realize like what I'm actually doing here with this company isn't aligned with my values, and at the same time, to be honest, like we weren't getting paid, things were getting issues with the company we're working at. So I decided to leave with my team. So my team took a risk by really just on me, on the vision that we had to move forward to another company. And at the time we were like, we could start our own. And I say we because I had my business partner now was also working for that company, running his own, same operation, his own sales team. And we really built a lot of this company up to where it was. And, we were both dealing with the same issues, and we met up and we were like, you know what? I think we're both equally valuable in what we do. So we want to partner up together and start our own company. So that's how Harmony Home Loans, which is my mortgage company, started. Again, we weren't getting paid. A lot of things happened. Like I had to sell a majority of everything I've owned. My business partner sold his Rolex in order to give funds for the company. So we had to start the company at negative 20,000. We borrowed money to start this company. We had people on payroll. We had leads to purchase. So we just had to keep things moving, all in the mix of COVID when there was so much uncertainty. But we took that risk. We took that risk. I'm glad we did because it's definitely reaping its benefits now, and it's just the beginning. Fast forward a little bit throughout that process. That was in 2020. We weren't operating our business until 2022. So we were at a few different mortgage companies in the meantime to supplement some income and save some money because we're self-funded. We didn't get any outside investors. We didn't have anyone helping us out. We just boots on the ground. We were making this work no matter what. And it took a little bit longer, but it also, the lessons that we learned along the way were invaluable to what we do now, and really just the mindset of being able to just withstand any turbulence, and you will in any business or any sales position as well. So as we started Harmony Home Loans in 2022 of October, that's, again, we had to revamp our entire business. We stepped away from doing the call center business model and started doing our own referral-based business, which is more of a traditional way of doing business in the mortgage industry and real estate, where we're getting referrals from real estate agents. So this is completely new to us. So we feel like we just started a whole new blank slate again with a new company, new people with us. And at that time, yeah, it was all new, but same thing. We had the same mindset we could persevere through this and figure out a way to find success. Luckily, within a few months, we're starting to see those results come in. That really changed our game and our mindset that we can really go through anything. Right? We could really go through anything, and we weren't afraid to risk what we had because we already went to zero multiple times. At that point, we were building another sales team that were more traditional, referral-based. We still had some key employees with us throughout that whole process that stuck around for now almost 8 years with us, and they're also reaping the benefits of being able to find success in the mortgage industry and what we taught them and what they learned along the way. So by 2023, we were named top 5 mortgage brokers in Nevada. That was a big milestone for us to be able to know that within a matter of 12 months, we're already a top contender in this space, on the local level. But we know that's just the beginning. I think our mindsets are a lot bigger on where we want to go, and then pushing that effort towards 2024, building a bigger sales team, adding more resources into our support staff, and on top of training and coaching. 2024, we were named the #1 brokerage in Nevada by sales volume in the local space here in Nevada. So that was a big milestone for us that we reached. Again, we're looking to grow and compete on a national level, and now we're the fastest growing mortgage company in the United States with our loan volume, our units, and we don't have a lot of employees realistically, but we have a lot of top performers. That's what I think a key part of what we do with our culture. Not to go into our company or anything like that, I want to stick to the storyline. That is kind of bring you more to the present moment now in 2025. We're looking to break almost, 9 figures in revenue this year. And, so we had multiple millions in the last 2 years just with the company, and me personally, and with my business partner as well. We've made multiple millions in this industry. It's now time to bring that to light. I think this is an industry that people do not know about, and they should. Whether you're a young guy, young girl that's looking to change their whole career, change their whole life, there's obviously a lot of options out there. But I think this one is unspoken about. My purpose is for me to share this with you, just to connect with you on another level, because like I said, this changed my life. I don't think I've done anything special in my life. I work tremendously hard. I put a lot of efforts towards that, my work ethic. But like I said, I'm a college dropout. The education is not anything special. I'm sharing with you to hopefully open up your mind on something that's more possible than maybe drop shipping or all these things that you see online, and to be able to really find another career path that hopefully finds success for you. So I'm going to be starting making these videos once a week. That way I can share more of my wins, my lessons I've learned, my experiences, and hopefully it helps you out for you to find success in this industry. If you guys find any value from this, I would love for you guys to subscribe, like, comment, and any future videos that you guys might want to see. Love to hear your guys' feedback as I start this. Really just the new path for myself on starting some YouTube and some online content. So looking forward to it.